Hello, everyone. I'm here with Dr. Martin Serrano to discuss the new three books centered around the i3-MARKET project. Martin, and thank you for joining me today.
Hi, Anna, and hi, everybody. Thanks for the invitation and the time to promote these publications.
Okay, so maybe as an introduction, can you provide a brief overview of the project and the vision behind it?
Sure, definitely. Well, i3-MARKET is a visionary project. It's an ambition project that addresses the demand side, which is basically data sharing and data exchange. Consortium is a group of experts from Europe, and we address three main objectives, which is basically people. So we facilitate tools for people. We address platforms, basically software, in one word, and we also address the data. So the data is part of this project. So today is everything that's about data spaces, data lakes, and why not to have the opportunity in this project to resolve some of the issues in that area. And yeah, the project was running for 3 years. At the moment, we are finishing the project at the end of this year, and then that's why we decided to take the next step and share our experiences via some publications.
Okay, great. So talking about the publications, in the first book, you discussed the principles of modern data economy. What key concepts do you believe are crucial for understanding the value of data in today's society?
Yeah, I mean, data is commonly referred as the diversity of information, right? And today, everybody is aware, is even more empowered to produce their own data. And as simple as you have your own information when you are jogging, when you go to the gym, when you go do activities and you are tracing your activities. In your cars, you have now information that is available when you are navigating, when you're moving from different points. All this data is what gives us the incentive to address the demand in terms of how this data can be also commercialized. Because in the future, in the futuristic view of the project, we perceive that there's an opportunity here for people to also participate and in what we call the data-driven society, right? And this opportunity is not other than just monetize or even give some benefits out of this data that you produce, but in the other side also to facilitate the access to this data in this context. So in this first part of the books, we address precisely the design part, the understanding. We want people that are not familiar with the new trends, with the visionary perspective of the data and how this will be used to understand that. So we address the basic concepts like design modeling, architecting systems, data systems, information systems, and how they can be elaborated to facilitate the adoption and the use of this one. We use standard technologies or standard tools like diagrams and methodologies to model data, methodologies to design data. Nothing complicated. In the first book, we decided to do it not that complicated for people to understand. And we want people to understand that it's not difficult, but there's a methodology behind this process.
Mm-hmm. And about the second book, can you elaborate on the technical principles and software best practices discussed for implementing and deploying data spaces and marketplaces?
Yes, definitely. Yeah, in the second book, we basically go a little bit more technical because we understand that once that people are interested, once that the systems are functional for them, they want to do the aspects of the data transparency. They want to address data management. They want to elaborate, or we need to elaborate trustworthiness. And in order to do that, we need to have trust, security, and privacy systems. And all these principles are built on top of core technologies. And just to mention some of them that are in the book is self-sovereign identities, which is one of the most elaborated and principal technologies today for preventing hacking or even cyber attacks. We also have the identity management, which is basically empowering individuals to decide when data will go away or will stay in their own infrastructure systems. Also, we are enabling the smart contracts and smart wallets, which is basically this will address the need of commercializing or being able to commercialize your data in a formal way. Yeah. So we also have some other technologies that are part of the core of the systems, and it's semantic engines, semantic interoperability. We also have metadata management platforms, and also we have the semantic storage as a as a core. There are basically other technologies that has been experienced by our consortium, by our partners, and they are very mature. So we trust that they can be really good tools for technologists or even for developers that want to use our designs and our principles. And in this second book, we are precisely addressing all of them, describing in details how we perceive, how we evolve, and even how we advance, because some of them are not only adoption, but also we are developing the technologies for this project. And in this case, in this book, we also provide the solution that we built. We call it i3-MARKET backplane to facilitate the understanding that it's a project coming from this i3-MARKET philosophy. And the backplane is because it's a set of support tools. It's going to be flexible. It's flexible enough to be adaptive and adopted in different solutions. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And about the third book, which focuses on technical innovation and solving interoperability problems, what are some of the key challenges you address in this book, and how does it contribute to the global data-driven economy?
Yes. You see, when people are entering in a new dimension of the science or in the new challenges for the future, so it's always important to show them an example, right? So in this third book, what we wanted to address is some reference pilots. So in the consortium of i3-MARKET, we have industrial partners, large industrial corporations, SMEs, an SME alliance, the digital European ecosystem, and we wanted to show we want to show them how this can be enabled with i3-MARKET. And there are three main pilots that are verticals, one in automotive, the other one in well-being, and also weather. And the third one is looking at the manufacturing. So the three major elements. And then in this third book, we address each of them by implementing solutions, by showing how our backplane, our technologies, software and platforms can be supporting the data economy, and everything under the umbrella of digital societies and digital transformation, because as mentioned before, everybody understands now better the data, but not everybody understands the value of the data. So the purpose of this third book, together with the other two, is that altogether a compilation of experiences from concepts, designs, to what we call the solution that we implemented in i3-MARKET, and in the third book, basically the demonstration that it works. And in these three pilots, we have been experiencing problems, solving the problems, and then we also include all this in the third book. We call it the handbook because at the end it's like a guide for any developer or for any person interested in the project. Then they can use this one as the 101 book and the handbook for everybody to not only learn, but also to deploy it and install the platform, instance the platform. I have to mention that i3-MARKET has been agreed, or all the consortium agreed, to have this one released as an open source, and also following the recommendations from the European Commission when we who are the main founders of this project, is that we want to do it open source, and we develop our portal. It's accessible for everyone. We also have the GitLab and the GitHub accessible for the community of developers, and we have our portal and our open source entry portal for developers to access. So there's many ways to communicate, and now we are going to these three books to offer them the literature and the science concept that is more for the stakeholders, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay, so the i3-MARKET handbook is a sort of well-rounded knowledge base, you would say, for practical implementation and deployment of data-driven applications. And so it is fully open source project. Are there any specific challenges or opportunities you've encountered in promoting open source solutions for data-driven innovation?
Yes, Anna. So in today's economy and today's market challenges, industries are still reluctant to use open source. So every day, more and more are accepting or looking at these opportunities, but still majority of the market is reluctant to this one. Intellectual properties, maybe patents, maybe business models, maybe strategies that they implemented in the past, they were not in this model. But we also are looking at good examples in how open source is changing and and evolving the market solutions. And we believe this is the way how should be, at least in the data economy, right? And our partners, our large industrial partners, are also buying this idea, and they're also promoting these open source platforms. And i3-MARKET is no exception. So everything has been done. Just to give an example, we're using the EUPL, the European Union Public License. We're using Apache 2.0. So we're using the MIT license. So the most friendly for development and friendly for commercialization. So we believe this is one way to also create impact and help the community and the society to understand and go forward with this data economy and single digital market strategies.
Mm-hmm. And talking about the recommended readership for the i3-MARKET book series, you said general public, students, entrepreneurs, technical experts, SMEs. How does each of the books cater to these diverse audiences?
Yes, you see, the consortium has vast experience from different domain areas, different expertise. It's basically a multidisciplinary team of 13 partners between universities, between research institutions, large industries, SME associations, etc. And that's why we have different stakeholders also in our consortium. And we decided to organize the books, the series books that can address all these groups, right? From basic concepts to very expert technologies like software deployment. So we want people to engage in that. My recommendation is go for the first book first. That's why it's basic concepts. If you are already some sort of experienced developer, you already have experience with computer science, or you are coming from a more advanced area in industry, you can go straight forward to the second one, because then you will understand our solution and how we address the problems in society in terms of data management, data exchange, data modeling, data commercialization. In the case that you already understand the system of data spaces, in the case that you already know about how the data economy works, then you can just read straight to the third one, and you'll see experiences, how this can be experimented. And that's why we selected the main stakeholders, and we address the needs, what we call the demand side, by providing our solution, which is our supply solution.
Okay, so thank you so much for covering all the three books. And as a final message to our audience, what would be the main takeaway from today?
Oh yes, definitely. It's a journey. I mean, our experience was a journey of 3 years, 3.5 years at the end, with all the improvements and the releases. We want to share that experience. I take it as a solid journey with hiccups, with problems that we resolve it. Always consulting the stakeholders, always looking at how this can be done in a more efficient way. So I think the message is that we have resolved many of the problems that you might encounter when you are developing your own platform and your own marketplace. So take us as the implementation that can help you. Obviously, there will be more problems because technologies evolve every day almost. But at least with the technology that we have provided and the back-end support that we can provide in the platforms, so I think we're confident that you will learn something, and you will have less problems than if you start from scratch with no guidance. So far, in the experience of the consortium, we never encountered such an opportunity to guide a developer, or to guide a company, or to guide an SME in this journey. So that's why we are very keen to share this experience, and most important, that people can approach the project in a more confident way by having these books, because it's very common that they go into the GitLabs, into the repositories, and the documentation is there, but sometimes it's not clear. So we believe that with these books, we are not only sharing, we are also helping to understand and educating the society, and also ourselves, because there was a journey for us to learn how to communicate. And the result is these 3 books that, thanks to River Publishers, going to be distributed openly with open access at no cost. And it's also a very good opportunity to get this information in a fresh way.
Okay, yeah, I think that's a great takeaway. So first of all, thank you, Dr. Serrano, for joining me today. I will put the links to the book series and to the project into the description, so please check it out. And thank you, Dr. Serrano, again. It was a pleasure.
Thank you, Anna, and thank you, everybody. Yes.